Hello, dear ones. Robert Brzezinski with you. Let's get into it. That's right. It's time for the midweek pick me up. It happens, well, it's supposed to happen at 6 o'clock. Tonight, that's not the case, but that's okay. As happens sometimes, life gets a little sideways. And silly Robert, I went and forgot that I had a program that I needed to produce tonight, and that it was scheduled to go right until 6 o'clock. And I realized quickly during rehearsal today that it was going to go long, and well, I would just push this back a little bit. So thank you so much for being with us. If you are here live, hey, that's great. The intention is that New Thought Media Network will bring this program to you every Wednesday evening, and in the future, I promise not to cross book myself and overbook myself and double book myself. But the intention is to come together on Wednesday evenings, sharing a little bit of music, sharing a spiritual message, and sharing and some ideas, and connect. And we see where it goes and how it happens. And again, however, the intention is to give us a pick me up, to give us something that will get us moving, get us grooving, and make sure that we're having a really good time. So what I want to do is, let's see, we're going to start with some music, and I'll tell you, I'm on a kick today. So I've been pumping out the jams, and I want to make sure that you get to hear this too, because tonight's theme is love. And this is all about us being in the love together. So why don't you just kick back and listen? Let these words inspire you.
Take a breath. As the Buddha described, once you hear the truth, it's not going to rest until it becomes fully available in your awareness. There's some blessings happening in your life and you don't even know about them yet. There's some blessings happening. Begin by counting the ones you can see. You're the spiritual image and likeness of the present. Take the breath right here. We are here to hold a space where we're beginning to really see that the presence of God is everywhere. Everywhere. We want to rise high and we have to see it to be it. We have to see that. Begin to see with the eye behind the eye, hear with the ear behind the ear, feel with the heart behind the heart, so that they can see the invisible, hear the inaudible, do the impossible. There's some blessings happening. Guys, it's too good. It's too good. This is too good. My life is just too good. The love is just too good. My blessings are just too good. The harmony is just too good. My life is just too good. Prosperity is just too good. The love is just too good. Oh, it's just too good. We're in this joy together. We're in this peace together. Oh yes. Oh yes. We're in this love together. We're in this joy together. We're in this peace together. behind the heart. See with the eye behind the eye. Hear with the ear behind the ear. Feel with the heart behind the heart. So that they can see the invisible, hear the inaudible, do the impossible. See the invisible, hear the inaudible, do the impossible. We're in this joy together. We're in this peace together. Oh yes, oh yes. We're in this love together. We're in this joy together. We're in this peace together. Oh yes, oh yes. We're in this love together.
All right, so that is We're in This Love Together by Michael Bernard Beckwith from his album Transcendence. And I'll tell you what I love about that is it's just so easy. Grab a couple of Michael clips, a couple of clips from his talks, and set it to some dance music, and you got a hit and a winner there, folks. I've always just really enjoyed that. Tough to believe that album was released in 2013. 7 years now. Hey, this is the Midweek Pick Me Up. It happens every Wednesday evening. Thanks again for tuning in tonight. Kind of a weird special edition. The timing is a little off due to some other factors, but we want you to know the intention is to be here every Wednesday evening at 6 o'clock for a couple of pieces of music and a short message, maybe a prayer or two, with the chance to connect and, well, just like the title says, pick me up. Get a pick me up going. So I want to talk tonight about the concept of love. And love, we get a lot of this there's a lot of different ideas around it. But one of the things that I've always done, or I remember most, is this first quote I want to share with you tonight. I remember the day that my teacher came to me and said, look at what I found. And he had just read this Adyashanti book, and he shared this with us. Look at what I found. What do you think of this? Love moves without an agenda. It just moves because that is its nature, to move. Love moves without an agenda because that is its nature, right? Love is this universal principle. It's this universal energy that's propagating itself all across the planet, all across the universe. And you and I, we are each vessels of this love. You and I are each vessels or avenues through which the absolute love of God, the divine love that is the love of the one, how that professes and how that takes form in the world, how that makes itself known in the world. So if love is just moving, well then, why would it be my work to try to move that and force that or control that or push that into anyone else's experience? Ultimately, love is going to move. So I have to be with the flow of love. I have to kind of get into that place of saying, well, hadn't planned this one, but what would love do now? Right? What would love do in this situation? Because here's where I see. And I'm doing my prayer work around this. But I still see a world where far too many people believe that there is a division, where there is separation, believe that there's an other out there, that you and I are different than each other. Maybe it's because of our heritage and our background and where we grew up. Maybe it's because of the color of our skin. Maybe most likely it's because of our politics, right? Too many people are out there saying they love as long as you believe my way. I'll love you. Now, this is conditional love, right? And in New Thought, we practice and we teach the concept of unconditional love. I love you just because you are. Not because what you can do for me, not because what you can give me, not because of how you show up in the world, but I love you just because you are you. How important is that? But the tricky, and it's tough to do, or it can be. Now, it doesn't have to be. But I have people all the time tell me how tricky it is, how tough it is for them to see love in someone that believes differently politically, to see love in someone that wants to make, let's say, personal self-care a political event. I see people that want to love, but maybe don't know how. And see, love is not this. Well, we're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about how to truly love unconditionally tonight. How that really happens. Because for me, I know it's an everyday experience. It's an everyday reminder of how I'm going to show up in love today. Whether it's with my wife or my kids, we've got a new puppy in the house. That makes it real easy to get some loving in and make sure that I get to express that love. But I got to be willing to love the people in my newsfeed on social media. I got to love the politicians that are in my inbox 3 or 4 or 5 times a day. Do they ever not ask for money? Right? I gotta be able to unconditionally love the fact that that's happening, that that's part of the process. If that's what's showing up on the planet, if that's what's showing up in my life, then that's what's necessary for my evolution. Remember Eckhart Tolle, to paraphrase badly, life will give us the exact experience most necessary for the evolution of our consciousness. And what we know in this philosophy is as we grow and expand our consciousness, then the experiences of our lives change because it all begins with thought. It all begins with our beliefs, and therefore that all changes in our consciousness. A lot of years ago, I before I found the New Thought philosophy, I worked in a number of different jobs, and one of them was I was in the restaurant industry and in the food service industry, and I loved working the evening shift because number one, I could play all day, show up at work. In the back room, didn't really matter what you were wearing, work through to a nice part of the evening, go home, get some sleep. Well, at that time, people would ask me, how's your day going? And I had a kind of canned, wise ass response. It's going great. But invariably, somebody's going to come along and screw it all up. Well, you know how this story ends. Every day before the day was over, somebody got into my life that screwed it all up for me. I wasn't able to recognize at the time that the prevailing thoughts, the prevailing consciousness is what's creating my life. And the day I stopped believing that, the day I changed that belief, the day that I started looking at it as no, this doesn't have to happen, that's the day things shifted. Many years later, in mountain biking, I had a saying, muddy or bloody, no rides for free. Every time I went out on my mountain bike, I came home. After one trip, my wife said, you might want to give up that bloody part. Muddy's okay. And I stopped coming home injured. Now, you have this ability as well, because it's all about how we change our thoughts. It's all about shifting our consciousness to see that even in the midst of absolute weirdness, absolute destruction, even in the midst of that, there is love. There is a rebuilding. There is God. There is the one. So I want to jump back over to Adyashanti again because I'm on an Adyashanti kick today, obviously. This is from another one of his books. Love is a flame that burns everything other than itself. It is the destruction of all that is false and the fulfillment of all that is true. Let that sink in. Love is a flame that burns everything other than itself. It is the destruction of all that is false and the fulfillment of all that is true. So love is all there is. Love is a flame that burns everything other than love. And it fulfills love. It fulfills itself. So in our lives, if we're looking at things, and I know I can't see how you're not. When we're looking at the things that are going on in our lives, the things that are burning, the things that are dissolving, the things that are crumbling, that don't work, that don't appear to ever want to work again, well, those things aren't love. That's not God. God is not in the buildings. God is not in our 401s. God is, and yes, but that's not God at all that God is. We can let go of the old ways of being and still be fueled, funded, supplied, sourced by God, by that one renewable power, presence, and intelligence that is never ending and never separate from us. We can be in that place where there is only love, and we do that by turning away from the conditions, by recognizing they exist, yes, by feeling the feelings that happen when somebody doesn't show up, when somebody doesn't keep their word, when something doesn't go your way. Feel the feeling, but don't hang on to it. Feel the feeling and then transform because of it. Because if it isn't love, let the fire burn it. If it isn't love, then love what is. Love what you want. Love what the truth that's coming through. Too many people today, from my opinion, want to hold on and appear to be uh, and want to hold desperately to ideas and concepts and conspiracies that are anything but loving. If I can't see the love, I'm scrolling right past it. If I can't see the love, I'm not going to waste 5 minutes reading it. If it doesn't feel like love, I'm not going to watch it. I'm not going to let it take space in my brain, in my mind, because we've got to get back to love. It is the one prevailing vibration, the one prevailing power, the one supreme law of the universe is love. So I always want to get back to that. I've got one more quick quote here by Adyashanti tonight. Enlightenment is nothing more than the complete absence of resistance to what is. End of story. Enlightenment is nothing more than the complete absence of resistance to what is. That's it. End of story. How does it get any easier than that? Give up our resistance. Give up our resistance to having it our way, to not having it our way. Give up our resistance to others believing what they want to believe. If you want to believe a specific drug or therapy or craziness is gonna support you in this, is gonna protect you in this, believe it. Please don't push your beliefs on me. Please still act in a way that's respectful to those around us, because this is not a self-centered thing. This isn't about you got to do it my way because my way is right. This is about letting go of that. It's about letting go of my sense of being right. Because all that being right is a resistance to being wrong. It's a resistance to being seen as less than. It's a resistance to being perceived as ignorant. Hey, folks, I'll tell you this. I'll come right out and say it. I'm ignorant. I'm ignorant of all kinds of things. I'm ignorant when it comes to brain surgery. I'm very ignorant when it comes to brewing beer. My friends that do that have a lot more knowledge about it than I am. If you left it in my hands, I'd love the process, but you wouldn't love the product. I have to let go of my resistance to being separate, to being united. I have to embrace that I am part of the unity, part of the oneness, and let go of anything that seems other than being the one. So whenever anything that shows up that seems like separation or not enoughness, that's resistance. How did Adi Ashante say it again? Enlightenment. Enlightenment. The minute you let go of any sense of resistance to what is happening in your life, you are that point of enlightenment. And when you are enlightened, when you are that point of enlightenment, then you have that light to shine out, to radiate, to vibrate out, so others may see that light and be raised up as well. So others may see that light and say, hey, I can love too. I can love too. I can love too. Let's take that into prayer. So if you're in a safe space where it's comfortable to close your eyes, not operating machinery or playing with knives, please let yourself turn within and find that stillness, find that place of knowing that there truly is only one God, one power, one presence, one infinite intelligence that is right here, right now, expressing itself as all of life, my life, your life, the lives of everyone, everywhere, across this entire planet. We are all connected. We are all part of the unity of life. Deeply, we are one. Say that with me, please. Deeply, we are one. Deeply, we are one. And in that oneness, I know that we reveal a magnificence, we reveal our consciousness, we reveal the grand vision for human life on planet Earth, each one a vital aspect to that revelation, each one an absolute necessity to this evolutionary leap that we are right in the midst of. We are growing and evolving and expanding in magnificent ways, and all it takes is for us to love the process. And that is the call this day, to be in love, to be the vibration of love, to turn away from anything that looks other than love and turn back to the sense of love, to let go of our resistance to what's going on around us and be love, to let go of what everybody else is doing and just be love. To be love in our thoughts, to be loving in our prayers, to be loving in the activities and the events we take during the day, to love when we call our congressman or woman, to love the process of protest and civil disobedience, to love those that don't see it my way, to love those that profess a different belief system, to love it all. Because without all of it, this thing called life would be incomplete. What I know is I know that in this time, in this juncture, in this space of history, in this moment of consciousness, we are creating a new way of being, and not everyone will see it that way immediately, and yet we've got to see it that way, because each one that says yes to this process, to this evolution, to this prayer, each one that joins in a spiritual community and raises their voice to profess the truth, each one is absolutely vital to this human collective, to this human experience we are building, to heaven on earth. So I am grateful in this moment to know that there is a magnificence emerging, that there is good on the planet, and that no matter what's going on, I have the opportunity to be love, to just be love. And so I release this word into the law that must demonstrate, that must activate, that must make itself known in the human world as it is in heaven. And so it is. And so it is. Thank you, dear ones, for being with us this evening. I'm Reverend Robert. This is a part of the New Thought Media Network. We've got some more music coming up for you. And please know that we are a 501c3 nonprofit. Every dollar donated is completely tax deductible, and you can do that by hitting one of the links in the description, or the PayPal address is going across the screen there for you. Please drop $1, drop $5, drop $50, drop 500, whatever it might be. But please support this work so we can continue to bring you this kind of broadcasting and bring you all the work, all the different programs we offer, because I'll tell you, we offer a whole bunch of different programs around this place. We've got all kinds of things going on. Monday mornings, we get together and do Monday morning visioning. Every Monday morning. Wednesday mornings, we get together for meditation at 7 a.m. Friday mornings at 7, we have a talk show. My buddy LZ and I get together for Ministers Talking Bleep. Laura Topper's going to start next week on Mondays with a prayer. Eugene Holden's going to be starting this Thursday with his initial episode. We've got a meditation retreat coming up on September 19th. There is just so much that goes on. We'd love to have you be a part of all of it. However, I want to get back into the tunes, give you a chance to hit that donate button. And I'll tell you, just as I was on an Adi Ashante kick, I was on a Michael Beckwith kick today too. So we're going to hear another song here in just a second. Doop-a-doop. What's going on? And we do love playing with live video now, don't we? Technology. I love it. I love it. I love the technology. Let's make sure I've got this Michael song prepared for us. We're going to listen to a little bit more Michael Beckwith here tonight to pump us up, get everything moving. Where are you, dear one? Whoo. When it goes sideways, you gotta love it. There it is. All right, let's groove, let's boogie. Let's listen to a little more of Michael Beckwith. Let it be all right.
Take a breath. Where you coming from? Let it be all right. To be all right. Take a breath. When we're talking about the topic of the God light, we're talking star power. We're talking power of the cosmos. And that we are here to beam this light of ours to such a degree that we're becoming aware of what's seeking to express itself through you. Feel your freedom right now. You are free to say in this moment, this God light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. Let it be alright. To be alright. Let it be alright. To be alright. Let it be alright. To be alright. Let it be alright. Let it be alright. You have to ask yourself on a regular basis, where am I coming from? This will purify your motivation. Your motivation is to one, wake up, and two, to be a beneficial presence on the planet, to give your gifts. With that motivation, underlying every action that you take, you are the boldly go where no woman or no man has ever gone before. Let it be alright. To be alright. It's alright. Let it be alright. Be alright. To be alright. Let it be alright. To be alright. Let it be alright. Let it be alright. Know that you're coming from plenitude and abundance. You lack nothing. Nothing. You have star power. You are the way the stars look back at themselves. You have star power. With that motivation underlying every action that you take, you are to boldly go where no woman or no man has ever gone before. Let it be alright. To be alright. Let it be alright. Be alright. To be alright. Let it be alright. To be alright.
beep beep. Thank you, Rev, for that. What a great song. There's always a way to pump up the jams and bring a little more love into your world. So thank you, folks. I'm Reverend Robert Brzezinski. This is a part of the New Thought Media Network. We'll be back again next week with another episode of the Midweek Pick Me Up every Wednesday night. And again, we're working to get us back on the track and be here at 6 p.m. next week. So look for us at 6 p.m. Mountain Time. Until the next time we connect, peace and blessings. Go forth and be love.